Maria stood by the window, her heart fluttering with nervous excitement. Today, her bridegroom would arrive with her dowry. When she asked her mother if he was handsome and clever, her mother simply smiled and said she would see for herself soon enough. Not far from the village, Maria's bridegroom was driving a herd of cattle across the river when a lion suddenly leaped from the bushes and killed one of the cows. The young man shouted angrily, demanding to know who had attacked his animals. The lion stepped forward boldly, declaring that he was a better man than any human. Furious at this insult, the bridegroom threw himself at the beast, and they fought fiercely. Soon the lion lay defeated on the ground, with the young man standing victorious over him. But the cunning lion was not finished. He told the bridegroom that he had only won because he used his left hand and challenged him to tie it behind his back and fight again. The foolish young man agreed. They fought once more, and again the bridegroom won. The lion then claimed he had lost only because of the man's right hand and convinced him to tie that hand behind his back as well. With both hands bound, the bridegroom was helpless. The lion killed him instantly and devoured his body. Then, wearing the dead man's clothes, the lion drove the cattle toward Maria's village. The villagers welcomed the disguised lion with great celebration, believing him to be Maria's true bridegroom. They brought him food, but when they served boiled meat, the lion refused it. He also rejected fried meat, demanding raw flesh instead. Maria's father found this strange, but provided what was requested. When it was time to sleep, the lion refused the bed and insisted on lying on straw and sticks like an animal. That night, when Maria and the lion were alone, he removed his clothing and she saw his fur-covered body. Terror seized her heart. She fled to her parents' hut, crying out that her husband was not a man but a wild beast. Her father refused to believe such an impossible claim. He decided to test the creature the next morning when the village prepared to move to new grazing lands. If the bridegroom was truly a lion, he would not call out with the other men at dawn. The lion had been listening outside and heard everything. Before sunrise, he ran from the hut and roared loudly, calling for everyone to wake and prepare to move. Maria's father heard this and believed his daughter was simply a foolish girl. He felt ashamed of her wild accusations. The lion announced that he would take Maria to meet his relatives rather than travel with the village. Everyone agreed this was proper, and the couple set off alone with their camel. As they journeyed, the lion grew hungry and secretly bit chunks from the camel's hump. Each time the camel cried out in pain, the lion blamed Maria's belongings, making her throw away her scarf, her jewelry, and finally her dress until she had nothing left. They arrived at a desolate place with no sign of human life. The lion told Maria to set up camp while he went to find his relatives and bring back food. He said if she heard certain sounds, she would know what animals he was bringing. As soon as he left, Maria realized the terrible truth. His relatives would be wild beasts who might devour her. She could not return to her family, for they would never believe her. Desperate, She cut off her little finger and left it in the sand as a decoy, then ran until she reached a large lake with a dead tree standing in the middle. Using a rope, she crossed the water and climbed high into the branches where she would be safe. When the lion returned with his animal friends and found the hut empty, Maria's severed finger called out that she had escaped. Enraged, the lion ate the finger and demanded to know where his wife had gone. The cat revealed that it had seen a girl climbing the tree in the lake. All the animals rushed there and found Maria perched high above them. The lion tried to coax her down with sweet words, but Maria refused. She offered to pull them up using her rope. The lion went first, but when he was halfway up, Maria cut the rope and he fell into the water and drowned. The other animals tried next, thinking she would not harm them since they were her husband's family, but Maria cut the rope again and they all died as well. Safe but utterly alone, Maria wept bitterly. A small bird with a broken wing appeared beside her and begged for food. Maria gave the bird a date and asked it to carry a message to her parents, telling them of her desperate situation. The bird flew to the village and found Maria's mother churning butter, but she refused to believe the message. The bird then went to Maria's father, who was sewing shoes, but he also dismissed the tale as impossible. So Maria remained in the tree, surviving on the food the little bird brought her each day. One day, a prince passed near the lake with his shepherd. The shepherd, who could neither hear nor speak, saw Maria in the tree and urgently led the prince to the water's edge. When the prince looked up and saw the beautiful girl, he fell instantly in love. Maria tested him by spitting toward him, saying she would marry him only if her spit turned to gold when it touched him. It did, and Maria climbed down and married the prince. Years later, Maria's parents had lost everything and came to the palace begging for food. When Maria heard their voices, she recognized them immediately, despite their desperate state. She ordered her servants to give them food, clothes, and shelter. Though they had refused to help her when she needed them most, Maria saved her parents from starvation. She had survived the lion's deception, her family's disbelief, and complete abandonment through her own courage and cleverness. Now, living in happiness with her prince, she had found the strength to forgive those who had failed her, proving that her heart was as brave as it was kind.